Be back. Good to be back. Um, Sorry we're running late. I had I had a lot of stuff to take care of today. We are getting down to sort of like the last. I did. I sort of had a really busy day because we are getting down into sort of the nuts and bolts of this trial, and we are weeks away now. So it's everything's sort of coming together. There's a lot of stuff going on in the background, and it's been a little flat out. It's been a little like crazier. It's good to see you all. It's going to be worse in like 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, I'm going to be run off my stupid feet. Being out in Ballarat, which is, yeah, I'm happy about it, sort of. Very sort of happy about it in a way. Yeah, hey, good to see you. Good to see you. Um, what is going on? Oh, hey. Hey, Woman of Steel, how are you? I'm sorry you're not feeling very well. I'm sorry you're not feeling great. Yeah, let's not worry about that stuff. Let's do true crime and give you the updates, okay? I want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with whatever's going on another channel with Trish or whatever. I just don't want to get into it. I'm not I want to do this. I want to do this. That's why we come here every night. We don't come here every night to get get into like a he said, she said, they said, those people said, or whatever. Um, yeah. All right. A missing child in San Antonio. Like it's been a hard weekend for Texas. They have had two different Amber Alerts go up over, say, the last 48 hours. They've had two. So thank you for playing that without asking. This one uh, is a 2-year-old girl. The sort of circumstances surrounding it are a little weird. This little girl went missing from her home. Uh, this little girl went missing from her home shortly before 8 p.m. Sunday, so she was reported missing. Authorities launched an extensive search for her, but she was found not far away from her home in a sort of like overgrown area near the water. And they have now said that they are doing a medical report on her to try and find out how she died. They're saying that she was a 2-year-old who was subject to an Amber Alert, disappeared from a northwest side neighborhood and was found unresponsive several hours later and then died at hospital. That's awfully sad that a 2-year-old can somehow make it out of her property and pass away in that short amount of time. And I think you guys saw the photo on the thumbnail, right? Here. Look at the little girl with the cool glasses and just very sad. I don't know how a 2-year-old little girl dies in this way after just going missing. I'm sure there's children that make it outside of their homes every day. They either run down the street and their parents can't find them, they're at a shopping center or something. But in this particular case, it's sort of just the local PD are just saying, wait for the medical examiner. So that is what we're being told right now. And they're saying here, yeah, 2-year-old girl who tragically passed away in San Antonio, Texas on the 3rd of August. After wandering away from her home, it sparked a Texas Amber Alert. Amber Alert. Don't they normally use an Amber Alert and there has to be a suspect involved with a vehicle? I would have to check that out whether the Texas local one follows the same laws or not. Um, Relatives reported her missing from her home on the 4700 block on the city's northwest side, at approximately 8 p.m. on Sunday. Family members stated that she had wandered off the property, and that is when they found her. At approximately midnight, searchers discovered Aryana's body unresponsive in a bushy, overgrown, water filled creek behind Belle Ellen, and they're saying first responders attempted immediate life-saving measures. Belle Ellen, I'll have to have a look. What is that? Belle Ellen Drive, San Antonio. Yep, okay. I just wanna see, like, what exactly is that area? No. And my map's like, in Melbourne? And I'm like, "No, not in Melbourne, you crazy thing." Alright. So they're saying there's a waterway behind here, behind Bell. Okay. Alright, I'll take you out there. So there's the street, and they said behind there's like an overgrown area with a waterway. Are they talking about this right here? This? I mean, if you're because there's this like little creek thing, but there's also this, but that looks like maybe possibly someone's home. Possibly these people who live here, they've got some sort of, I don't know, maybe they got like 500 head of cattle who come in here every day. I would hope not. But they did say it was behind the street. There's this, but there's also this creek, and it is sort of overgrown. It is sort of like not taken care of. It makes me wonder, could a 2-year-old drown in this area on her own accord? I mean, I guess so, but they're also just as likely to get out of it and go home. So I'd like to know how a 2-year-old was there for, what was it, like 4 or 5 hours maybe, and no one found her like that close to her home. I mean, I guess little kids are very little. They do hide. They do hide. And, yeah, how very sad. I'm glad you're doing much better. I'm glad you're doing much better. Let's see. More like a drainage pond? I mean, I guess. Whatever it is, that is what they're describing. And I wanna know more from, like, I don't want the medical examiner report. I think people who want children medical examiner, like, I never want that. I'd like to know the manner and cause, but I don't want the actual report for her. Let's see. The San Antonio PD has confirmed that the family is fully cooperating and the case remains active ongoing investigation. The official cause and manner of death are pending a full examination by the medical examiner. A community vigil has been organized by neighbors to support her family. So, can we see that there is a video show? Yeah, there's a video of her walking alone, and I would like to see it. Um, okay. All right. That was someone sending me something saying, check out KEYES or something. And they were saying, look on there, there's a video. Okay, we could have a look at that. Yeah, let's see if we can find that video. 2-year-old. What is it? KYE. Good work, Ping. Actually, I'm just going to take you to WOAI. They're better.
At 5, we're here for you.
The death of a 2-year-old little girl who was a subject of an Amber Alert, leaving a community in shock tonight. And investigators have a lot of questions about exactly what happened. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jonathan Martinez.
I'm Mandy Noel. Police are trying to piece together what led to the death of Aryana Trevino Martinez after her body was found around midnight last night on the northwest side.
Yeah, she was found after several hours of searching, but tonight there are lots of questions that still remain. Tonight we do have team coverage for you. Ethan Trejo will tell us about the concerns being raised in the neighborhood. But first, let's start with News 4 San Antonio's Taylor Wardenby, who's live with more on the investigation. Taylor.
Yeah, police are trying to piece together Aryana's final moments and what led them to this area where she was later found. Now, a detective who was here at the scene tells us they have surveillance footage that shows the 2-year-old walking alone towards this area. A neighborhood filled with children playing and families outside became the center of a desperate search Sunday night.
Everybody was already out looking. I went around asking people, hey, let's go look, come outside. And people started coming outside.
2-year-old Aryana Trevino Martinez was gone, and police say an Amber Alert had been issued around 8 p.m. from Allegheny Drive on the northwest side. Relatives say she had wandered off. Now a community is remembering a life cut short.
She's enjoying the world, she's enjoying life. It's unfortunate this happened.
For one neighbor, helping in the search was personal. Years ago, his brother went missing.
My brother was 4 years old. I was 6. He was missing. They found him later, unfortunately. I made it my job to help people.
But the hope for a safe return turned into heartbreak. After countless hours searching, Aryana was found unresponsive near a pond in the Belle Ellen area. Despite life-saving measures, Aryana did not survive.
The first thing I thought, like everybody else, how did she get out there? How does a 2-year-old get out that way? But children's mind, they can walk.
Still, questions remain. How did Aryana leave her home, and what happened between the time she was last seen and when she was found? Police say the family of Aryana is cooperating.
You hear stories all the time, and I think most moms this day and age with social media, we're always on the lookout. I know I am, scanning all the time.
Now I want you to take a look behind me. You can see right here a memorial is growing. Aryana's family was here and left behind balloons, flowers, and stuffed animals in her honor. Now at this time, we're still waiting for a cause of death. And as far as any charges, police say this is still an active and ongoing investigation. Reporting live from the northwest side.
It does seem to be that sort of area. You can see like what they were talking about, like it's overgrown and yeah, let's go back here. So where's that bit where they had it? Yeah, there's like a trail that goes down behind the homes. That's sort of what we're looking at on that map. Yeah, right here. I will show it to you just so you guys know what you're looking at here. It's this thing right here. See the tire tracks? Same thing. And it leads all the way down there. So I'm guessing it's the probably that satellite photo may be old. It may not look like that fully anymore. But 2-year-old wandering from her home, I think that's very sad. I don't know what the hell the solution is for these. Either a lot of times non-verbal, they have autism or something, like that boy in Canada that we had like a week ago. I think I really don't know. I've been covering these type of like kids get out of home cases for years, and I don't know what the solution is. I know what a lot of people would say. You should watch you should watch your children, but I think that's just sort of like a catch-all phrase. You can't like kids are fast, man. Like they can get out of your sight. I'm sure we all have that memory of walking away from our parents at a mall and getting lost and our parents not being able to find us. Like I'm sure we've all had that um, vision and had that experience in life. So we all know that it's possible for kids to run away. Did she drown in the large pond? Where they had the memorial, it doesn't look like it here. Where's that memorial? It looks like it's down on that. I mean, I don't know, but it looks like it's down on that back road that leads like behind the homes. But you would think how, I mean, I don't want to criticize anyone, but I mean, she was missing for a number of hours. If you were looking for a small child who might have got out of a home and you lived on that road, like where in this area would you go? Like if you thought, okay, my child has run away, there's really not a lot of places to go. Like this is probably one of them. This is probably like number one. Like through this back, I don't know what you'd call it, like a culvert, like a stormwater culvert type thing for flooding events. I mean, I would look. This would be one of the first places, and then the second would be this waterway right here. So I mean, I don't know. I don't want to blame anyone. There was a lot of first responders who were helping, a lot of community members who came out and to criticize that aspect of it would be to criticize them, and I don't think that's right. Anyone who volunteers their time to come out is a good person just trying to help. So I feel like if I was like, "Yeah, you should have looked there like 2 hours," no, that's not helping anyone. Um, Ken's 5 put out an interesting video, like, about 20 minutes ago, and it was talking about how there's more questions than answers right now, and I sort of agree. I am saying that I have the same thing. Why is there so many questions about how a two-year-old somehow died in this particular way? They're saying here, when authorities launched the extensive search involving law enforcement, helicopters, and dozens of community volunteers, one volunteer who asked not to be identified described a frantic effort to locate the toddler. They said, "We were desperate, just trying to find her, yelling her name the whole time. You could hear people yelling her name." And they're saying there was like 100 people out there walking on bicycles and even in cars looking for the young child. They said here authorities found the child unresponsive in a grassy area near Bell Ellen Drive and Babcock Road. Isn't that where we just were? Is this Bell Ellen? Wait, there's Bell Ellen. Where's Babcock? They said Bell Ellen and Babcock. Uh, Now I'm getting lost. Now I don't know where I am. But that's Bell Ellen, right? That's Beverly May Drive. That's the only connecting road. Um, hmm, I don't know. Yeah, let me try and write that in. What did they say? Babcock and Bell Ellen. All right, let's have a look. Maybe we got the wrong slight area. It's an intersection. I want to go to an intersection. Um, oh, okay. Babcock is there. Sometimes I think your naming of streets is always a little weird, but I could have got the wrong area too. Hold on. Is this what they're talking about? There is like a grassy area back here. Um, I'm just trying to find like where we're at. Bell Ellen. Okay, I don't know. They're showing me a different intersection. I'm just trying to zoom out. There's Babcock. There's Babcock. What's this? The D Zavala Road. Well, that's not the road. Hold on, guys. Let me look at this again. All right. Yeah, San Antonio. All right, let's have another look. Residential near Loop 410. Where's zip code? A short distance from Loop 410 in the intersection of Babcock and East Beverly May. That's where we were. That's right. That's where we were on the original map. Yeah. Beverly May is up here. Yeah, it must be where, like, this is Beverly May here. I don't know why they're talking about that intersection. Oh, all the way up here? Babcock's here. There's no connecting path really, unless you go through like unless you can get through the back here. I mean, it's possible. Like, see all this overgrown yards and that. Unless you can literally go through the back of this area and get up through here. I I don't know what that is. Is that part of the river or something? Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, alright. So, yeah, it's that behind the houses area, well, like we thought originally. Geez, maybe you really couldn't find a child behind here. Look at the overgrowth of all the old trees and that. I mean, it's possible. I more have a question of, like, if they have that CCTV of her walking alone, that doesn't mean that someone didn't come across her. I mean, it's a long period of time. You're not talking about, like, 20 minutes. You're talking about, like, hours, hours and hours and hours where this little girl didn't find her own way, back to mom. So I have concerns about how that might work. Yeah, I'll take you out to, Ken's 5. They might have this is their latest video that they put out. Yeah, let's go here. There we go.
Top story tonight, a community in mourning over the death of a 2-year-old girl.
Hours after Aryana Martinez wandered off from her family home, the toddler was found unresponsive. She later died at the hospital. KENS 5 reporter Mike Jimenez has been following this story and brings us the latest. Mike?
Henry Easy's police say after our an extensive began, which included volunteers. I spoke with one of those volunteers who wanted to remain anonymous.
We were desperate, just trying to find her, yelling her name the whole time. You could hear people calling her name, Aryana, Aryana.
It was just before 8 Sunday night when police got a call from the family of 2-year-old Aryana Trevino Martinez. They said she had gone missing from Allegheny Drive near Babcock Road on the northwest side. A neighbor said she heard the helicopter searching and jumped in to help.
I came out and there was, like it said 100. I think there was more than 100 of us out here searching. By car, bicycle, walking, groups.
Just after 10, San Antonio police posted a photo of Aryana on their Facebook page. And by 10:30, an Amber Alert was issued. But by midnight, news spread that Aryana was found unresponsive in a grassy area near Belle Ellen and Babcock Road.
That's all we heard. But when the ambulance did leave, there was no sirens or anything. They left quietly. It was really somber because it just seemed like something had gone wrong. Something was really wrong.
Aryana was pronounced dead at the hospital, and by 3:30 a.m., the Amber Alert was discontinued.
Mama was absolutely distraught, and I just say keep the family in your prayers because it was devastating. It was devastating for us as a community, so I can't even imagine as a parent.
Yeah, all those people that went out and helped and searched into the wee hours of the morning, and the result was, like she explained, an ambulance that didn't seem to be in a rush to get her to hospital. A very tragic outcome, I think. We'll have to wait and see what the medical examiner says, but the fact that they're saying the family are cooperating, I don't think people should start pointing fingers over there at the moment. We'll have to wait and see. I think it's more just strange that, yeah, like a child could disappear like that and then end up there. I mean, but it happens every day. Like we had that child in Canada. He got away from his home, somehow ended up in some complex pipe system for water, and he was like 130 meters into the underground portion of this pipe. So you go like, how can kids do this type of thing? And then you hear stories like that where a kid can get 130 meters underground and then die. So you could never put him past to do anything. We'll have to wait. Yeah, heat stroke. Everyone's saying it's super hot out there. I know Danny said it's hot too. Heat stroke, is it over 100 degrees today in San Antonio? Let's have a look. I know it's your smack bang in your American summertime right now. Let me see. Weather, yeah, weather. Huh. Is it really? It's saying it's 29 degrees right now in San Antonio at like midnight. and it's 65 degrees humidity. Ugh. We get those in Australia, especially in Melbourne in the summer, and they are the worst. They are just so hot. It feels relentless because normally when the sun goes down, it gets cooler, but these ones, it's just hot, hot, hot all the time, and I hate them too. Tomorrow, it's 37 degrees in San Antonio, Wednesday 37, Thursday 38, Friday 38, Saturday 38, Sunday 38, Monday 38, Tuesday 39 degrees. That is a hot summer. Talk about a hot girl summer. Yeah, so if you want the American readings, 99 degrees tomorrow, 99 on Wednesday, 100 on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 101 on Monday, and 102 on Tuesday. You guys are having a hell of a hot summer down there. That is, speak Texan, please. I can't speak Texan. I can't. I sound dumb even when I say y'all, so I can't do that. That's why I said Texas in August is hell on earth. Yeah. So maybe, yeah, maybe she succumbed to the heat. I mean, for a 2-year-old child, if I remember like the medical part of it, for a 2-year-old child to overcome and then be like heat stroke is under 45 minutes in the heat. Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. All right. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's about 45 minutes for them to, if they're in like a real hot environment where their body can start um, not being able to cool itself properly, and then they start to go into that heat stroke. So, yeah, maybe. I mean, the fact that they're leaving it to the medical examiner possibly tells you that there is no visual sign of something like, she wasn't shot or stabbed or strangled or that type of thing. It could just be a tragic accident. Lisa said, at least in Melbourne, we get respite after a few days. Yeah, well, I don't think this summer we're going to. This summer, I think we're going to have the El Nino effect, and I think it's going to be hot as hell down here. Get your air conditioners ready. Um, raining here. It's not, it was raining here this morning, but it's not anymore. Oh, by the way, those messages that pop up with the jewels and the whatever and the super chats and things like that, we turned them all down. They're all really quiet now. So if you do the gems or the whatever, it's not very loud anymore. So last night it was like super loud. So we rectified it and it should be good now. It should be fine. By the way, we're working on making sure this works right. The 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 tally thing does work, but one of the things I was not able to do was retroactively add anyone from earlier, which I was trying to do for hours. I was like, can I add these people? And so what I might do is I might just make it smaller in because it only gives me sort of like certain options. And I was like, well, this one, but I might just make it smaller based on what other people have helped previously, and just so they're represented. Yeah, see, is that better? Was that not as loud? I hope it was. Danny, thank you for the clapping seal like this. Oh, oh, oh. Was that not as loud this time? I did turn them all down. Hopefully, it's not shocking anyone out of their sleep. Amy said humidity is tricky. It doesn't always feel that bad, but can knock you on your ass quickly. Coming from the humidity capital of the world in Melbourne, yeah, I agree. 114 today in Phoenix? Are you joking? You're joking, right? That's not real. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, it really was 114 degrees today. It's 102 right now in Phoenix, Arizona. It's almost 40 degrees at 10 o'clock at night. That's ridiculous. I don't think I've ever even seen that in Melbourne. Like, we've had some 40-degree days or whatever, but they're normally not at nighttime. 40 degrees at
Our top story tonight, a community in mourning over the death of a
shut up. Stupid video. 114. I feel sorry for you guys. I'm so sorry. That is brutal. Yeah, hopefully you get the monsoon. If you're in Arizona, hopefully you're gonna get, like, your monsoon season come in soon, and you get all those, thunderstorms in the afternoon that come through and, cool everything down a little bit. Hopefully that. It was 117, so, like, 42 degrees. That is hot as duck nuts out there. It's 10 PM, yeah. Let's see. Yours have disappeared again? Sean's got a love-hate relationship with all those whatever they're called. They come and go from his, thing all the time. Look, I will keep you in touch with what's going on with this two-year-old girl, but I have some other news in relation to this. They caught the guy that was the subject of the other Amber Alert. So we had 2 Amber Alerts in San Antonio over the weekend. There was 2 little girls that had gone missing, but a few hours later, we had heard that they had been found safe. Well, um, a man by the name of Pedro Castillo has been arrested, and he is facing kidnapping charges after cited as being a suspect with a Amber Alert over the weekend. So I'm guessing he's the father because he has a similar last name to the children, and this was in Bear County. So if you're in Bear County, that's where this was over the weekend. But they have caught him. So one Amber Alert solved. The 2 little girls are okay. The other one from today with the 2-year-old child, unfortunately, like we just heard, has been found deceased, and we're going to have to wait for the medical examiner to find out how she how that happened, how that little girl died. Any Gus updates? I don't have any updates for Gus for you. I have nothing. I have nothing. I don't have anything. I have a pretty good source in South Australian Police, and lately they won't talk to me about anything. And well, the 2 that we're covering, Gus Lamont and Trisha Graff, both of them, they're sort of just saying, just leave it alone. So I don't know if they're working on something on both of them but nothing that would help in any way. Let's see. Um, yes, thumbs up. You should thumb up the thing below the channel or whatever, however it works. Do that. All right. So I have a second story for you. This was sent in by one of our viewers, and you might find it interesting because it's something we covered for Cold Justice about a year ago, and it was the story of a woman called Ronna Bremer. Now you might remember this one because it had a really sort of weird ending to it, and the ending was that many years ago a skull was found on a property that was possibly owned by the guy who has been arrested today. Um, it came from his land, and they found just a skull, and it was mailed in to a. It was which county was it? No. It was the Greene County Sheriff's Office in 1991. Someone anonymously sent a skull into them. And then in 2001, DNA and dental testing confirmed that it belonged to Ronna Bremer. Now, she went missing back in 1988, and at the time she was pregnant with her child. They're saying they're saying a grand jury has indicted Joel Bremer, and he has been charged with the death of an unborn child. That's two counts. Yeah, okay. He's been charged with the death of an unborn child, but he's also been charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder. One is for the death of Ronna Bremer. The second one is for the unborn child. Now, if you remember when we did the cold justice episode on this one, they tried really hard to get an indictment for him at the time, but the Greene County Sheriff's Office just basically went, "There's not enough evidence." Well, now they've put it in front of a grand jury, and the grand jury has looked at the evidence and said, "Yes, we believe there is enough to run an indictment for the murder of Ronna Bremer." So, which is great news. It's been a long time this girl has been dead, and finally someone will be held accountable many, many years later. This was a very weird story. The fact that someone would mail a skull in, and then during that episode of Cold Justice, we heard very weird rumors that on Bremer's property, people allege that he dismembered her and then buried her in a well on the property, but I don't believe they ever confirmed that that was a real thing. Just that that's the rumor that was going around at the time. So let me take you through the timeline. Back in December of 1988, Joel reported his wife missing from their home in Ozark, Missouri. She was 7 months pregnant at the time of being missing. In 3 years later, in April of 1991, an anonymous skull was mailed to the Greene County Sheriff's Office. It was found on land adjacent to Joel Bremer's brother-in-law. Weird, huh? Then about 10 years later in 2001, DNA testing confirmed the skull belonged to Ronna Bremer. Then in 2016 to 2024, the case was briefly reopened in 2016 before going cold again. In November of 2024, Christian County detectives partnered with Cold Justice to thoroughly reinvestigate the case, but they couldn't get to the finish line. Now, 2 years later after that, following new breakthroughs, including a localized 1989 DNA profile and a recovered Iowa police report detailing a life of domestic violence against Joel Bremer, he has now been indicted for the death of his wife and that unborn child. It is a very good ending to this woman deserved justice a long time ago, and quirks of policing and things like that. He escaped not being held accountable for many decades, and it is great news that now he will finally, hopefully, go in front of a court of law with a jury and then let the jury decide based on the evidence. And I think that'll be a good way of doing it in this particular case. I just want to see if we can get a photo of Ronna, because the one they have is a very old photo. Yeah, here we go. There you go. So this episode came out September 25th, 2025 last year, and it was a really good episode of Cold Justice. Um, I think we ran through it at the time. So if you search Ronna Bremer, you'll be able to watch the episode that we did on it. But at the end of that episode, just really did not think that anything was ever going to happen. They basically tried and tried and tried, but just couldn't get that tiny bit more evidence to put it over the edge. And I'm glad they now have that indictment with a grand jury. Yeah, let's see. All right. Yeah, I just want to see if we can find anything else. KY3. Okay. Give me 1 second. Yeah, let me take it out to KY3.
Y3 News starts now.
Good evening, I'm Paul Adler. First at 5, an arrest and charges filed in an Ozarks unsolved case. It dates back nearly 40 years. The ex-husband of Rona Brimmer has been charged with murder. In late December 1988, Joel Brimmer reported his wife as missing. Rona had been 7 months pregnant at the time. Around 2 years after she vanished, Joel divorced her. And in 1997, Rona officially declared dead. Meantime, the Greene County Sheriff's Office started investigating the discovery of a skull in 1991. This is video from 91 after an artist used clay to recreate what the person may have looked like before she died. It wouldn't be until 2001 that testing would confirm the skull belonged to Rona. In 2024, investigators working with the documentary team found Joel had previously been arrested for domestic abuse against Rona in Iowa. And that discovery led to the charges filed against Joel today.
A probable cause to believe that he committed this crime, and it's evident that if the prosecutor didn't believe that she could prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Mr. Brimmer did this, then we wouldn't be sitting here today.
Joel faces 2 counts of murder. He's been held in the Christian County Jail on a $200,000 bond.
So there we go. She lived a life of terror in her final years on this earth. She was planning at the time to take that new baby of hers and run. And they believe that is most likely why she was killed, because she was getting ready to run away and leave this guy and take half of his stuff, and this guy being so possessive, not wanting her to be on her own. He colluded with his family to cover up the death of his wife, and they do believe that the family knew about it, and that these people are horrid people. Yes, definitely the brothers seemed in on it, if not other people in the family as well. 40 years ago, right? Kim says my local news. Yeah. Ozark, Missouri. I have never been in the Ozarks before. I don't think I've been to Missouri before, but I don't think I've been into the mountains. Yeah, I've been into some of the lower parts of Missouri, but I don't remember going up into the Ozarks at all. But great news. Grand jury indictment. He will face those 2 counts of second-degree murder for killing his wife. Now, they are second-degree charges. This could change by the time it gets to trial. He may take a deal to plead guilty and then serve, so many years in jail. I would actually expect that they would take that and they would actually take a plea on this, because while the evidence is okay, it's not ironclad. That's why they've had to do this second-degree murder charge, because they can't prove premeditation to the point of a first-degree murder charge, which is, I think he's probably gonna argue that he killed her in self-defense, or I think he gave a story on Cold Justice that, she would often fly off the handle and that he had to calm her down, and so he's gonna claim that he killed her accidentally or something. Laurie said, "Watched it, but I don't remember every detail." Yeah, I know that we will be covering Cold Justice again when the new season comes out. We will be doing the Saturday night episodes once again. I think it's season 10? Season 10 this year. We'll be covering the recaps on this channel again when we have when there's a new set of episodes. But I heard that it is possible they are not gonna bring it back. I've heard that, there's no deal right now for any new season of Cold Justice at the moment. That Oxygen Network has not renewed the deal at the moment. What that means, I don't know, but normally they already would have given them a new several year deal, or, something like that, but so far no new contract for that TV show. Yeah, I'll double check. Yeah. Um, no new deal. When it was renewed back in 2023, they renewed it for two more seasons for season 7 in 2024 and then season 8 in late 2025. But so far, we're almost a year to the day. In a few months, it'll be a year. And there's no new news on if there is a new season coming at all. There is no I haven't because normally Kelly will say, "Hey, I'll be back in 2027," or something like that. But there has been no new pickup of the season, which it's a shame to me. Kelly Siegler and the team for Cold Justice, they won the award at Comic Con for great, like the best season of the year, and they did it for their investigative work of holding people accountable in real life for the crimes that they've done. Um, yeah, so here, future broadcast plans or a formal ninth season renewal for 2027 depend on Oxygen's ongoing scheduling updates, and so far there's been no update at all. Um, just trying to see if there's anything recent. No new news, and it is very telling that Kelly Siegler, if you go to her social media and you go to like the little bit where it has a description, normally she'll post there like, "See you next year. I'll see you in 2027 for Cold Justice," or whatever. And I don't think there is one. It just tells you, I think last time I looked at it, it said more cases coming at some point in the future. So I don't know if we'll get a new season at all. Gail said, "Where was the skull sent from? An anonymous neighbor found it and posted it in. They didn't want to get attacked by the family and be known as the person who like sent in the skull. So they did it anonymously, but they found out it was a neighbor. It was a neighbor who did it." Sean said, "I thought it was a safety vest. I think it's just a prison jumpsuit." Kelly said, "I used to like the show Accused, Innocent, or Guilty. I haven't watched that in a long time too. I don't think I've ever watched that one." Kelly said, "I haven't watched that show for years. Didn't know you do recaps. Looking forward to it." Yeah, every year we've done recaps of that show. Prison Fashion. Yeah, Prison Fashion. That's right. Um, I have some interesting news that I can now share with you. Do you remember I told you there was a guy that had been found guilty in a court of law in Melbourne, and they were describing him as like the well-connected Melbourne guy or whatever? Well, that that suppression order has been lifted, and now I can tell you who this guy was, and he's so like I can tell you like who he is, what his background, why it's interesting. This guy is named Ralph, and he is a major manager of AFL players. What? Hold on. All right. I can tell you who this guy is now because the suppression order has lifted. Now, his name is Ralph Carr, and I'm going to show you his photo. That's not it. Yeah, here he is. So his name is Ralph Carr. Suppression order has now lifted, and he has been found guilty of R-wording a girl who was associated with him and worked in his business. And he used the courts to try and suppress his name. And you guys are like, who is this guy? Well, he is a AFL manager. So he would often manage AFL players or even people in music. Now, unless you're Australian or from the UK, you may not know the next name I'm going to tell you. He used to be married to Tina Arena back in the 90s. Now, I don't know if many of you know who Tina Arena is, but you may recognize some of her songs from the 90s. She had that song Chains in the 90s. That was a really big song, had a bit of a comeback over the last couple of years. There's Tina there. She is a singer and uh, yeah, you guys are like, who? Yeah, I can't play you any of her music, unfortunately, but look it up if you like kind of like ballads and, pop music or something. You might like some of her songs, including the song I mentioned called Chains, which is a really good song of hers. Um, she used to be married to Ralph in the 90s. She said even back then that her life was filled with domestic violence and that he was very brutal towards her. Fast forward 30 years, and we find out that he is still doing this type of thing, even with women who work for him. So he has been found guilty by a court of law for R-wording this woman in his apartment after they went to a party together. And the reason you guys might find this interesting, because his lawyer is someone you might know. And you'll be like, Ping, we don't know any lawyers. And I'll be like, yes, you do. And I'm going to show you why you might know who his lawyer is. Hold on, I just need a photo of him. Yeah, this one. God, I wish we had a better copy of it. Yeah, there we go. So here is Ralph Carr with his lawyer, barrister. Do you know who? I don't know which way my hand's supposed to go. This way? This guy. Do you know who this guy is? This barrister here. Do you know who this man is? You will in a second when I tell you who it is. This man here, he is Gregory Lynn's representation. So here's Gregory Lynn's barrister as well. So if you've been watching with me the Gregory Lynn stuff over the last couple of years, this is the same guy who represents Gregory Lynn. So there is a crossover between Ralph Carr and Gregory Lynn. So when I was at a hearing a little while ago and it got cancelled, it was because his lawyer had to go to this trial. He had to go back to this trial with Ralph Carr, and we couldn't do the other stuff for Gregory Lynn that day because he was busy. So there you go. Yes, Mr. Jetstar pilot. Aaron Patterson? No, it's not Aaron's lawyer. It is no. That's not Aaron's lawyer. Young Talent Time is Fatina Arena, yeah. Gayla said, I hope his money doesn't protect him in prison. Let's hope not. Let's hope not. Yeah, it was the Jetstar pilot. Yeah, so Gregory Lynn. So Ralph Carr has the same representation as Gregory Lynn. He is well known. He is a very top tier barrister. He has worked on a ton of different cases, including um, including the ones that I was telling you about, like Gregory Lynn. So he is, yeah, so he is Dermot Dan KC. And maybe if I find a different photo, you might remember him. Where's a different photo of Dermot Dan? I was trying to find a different. Yeah, maybe here. Maybe here when you see him in his uniform for court. Here you go. So I often see these two in court for Gregory Lynn. And so when I heard about the Ralph Carr thing, I was like, oh, that's where he's been. But yeah, there they are outside the Supreme Court in Melbourne. So yeah, you might maybe you recognize him, maybe you don't. But that is the same barrister. Yeah, not in Aaron's case. No. He's got some hair, right? I don't know. I don't wouldn't say that about him. He might get you for defamation. Kylie's sister on I don't dude, I'm not from the time period for young talent time. It's like you're speaking Japanese to me. I don't think I was old enough to watch young talent time when I don't even know if I was alive at the time. Anyway, that man is here he is. Ralph Carr is the guy who had the suppression order for the last many years, trying to hide the fact that he had been charged with sex crimes against a woman who worked for him, was a friend of his, an associate who he took advantage of. And even when she said no, he continued and R-worded her in his own home. Pretty horrible. You're in your 40s, not 20s. I still don't remember Young Talent Time. Famous in the U. I still don't remember this show. It went from 1971 until 1984. I was like 3. So you guys are like, why don't you remember? Yeah, I was like 3 years old. That's why. Um, I don't remember a lot of things from when I was 3. So there you go. There's a sort of photo of it. What was it? What was it? I thought it was a music show. Is an iconic Australian variety show that aired on Network 10 from April 1971 until 23rd of December 1988. So yeah, they had Tina Arena on there. Is she on there? Let me see if I can guess which one Tina Arena. Is she in this photo? I almost want to think that the young girl at the front might be her, but I'm probably wrong. I almost want to think that's her, but probably wrong. It started the year before you were born. You said before you were born. Yeah, I think it's wow. I was 3. I mean, I wasn't watching Young Talent Time at 3 years old. All right, so that is your update. I know a lot of people wanted to know who the guy was under the suppression order. I'm sorry I couldn't tell you while there was a suppression order, but it's just the way the laws work, unfortunately. The reason most people would know him is because he is the agent and friend of this guy here. The guy on the right here, his name is Dustin Martin, and he played for the Tigers, the Richmond Tigers, for many years, won a bunch of different championships, and was possibly the best player in the game for many years. And his agent was Ralph Carr. Just a week before Ralph Carr was found guilty, Dustin Martin sold a multi-million dollar property so that he could sever public ties with Ralph Carr. So there was anticlimactic. I can't I'm not like, hey, let me go get the president of Australia and put him in there. I can't decide who gets charged with crimes, guys. So that's who he was, Ralph Carr. I know a lot of people are like, who? Even people in Australia were like, who is that guy? Because they did not know who he was. But I'll show you something. So Wayne Carr, Wayne Carr? That's not even a name. Ping, that's not even a name. Wayne Flower. Wayne Flower, who works for the oh, Wayne Carr. That's not even a real name. Wayne Flower, who writes for the Daily Mail, did a did a story today, and I wanted to show you something. Hold on. Oh my god, it's not even a real name. Where is it? No. So Wayne did a story today based on pretrial and what happens in a pretrial. And I thought this would be really interesting to have a sort of chat about because we're going through the pretrial stuff for Samantha Murphy right now. Actually, it's sort of winding down at the moment because we're about 3 weeks out from trial. But so Wayne, I've actually met Wayne. I met Wayne at Morwell very briefly, but he was sitting in front of me at Morwell for Aaron Patterson. But he talks about something here, and he says, um, it's a reality of criminal trials as old as the hills that before an accused steps foot before a jury, a trial has already effectively been held in secret during pretrial hearings to determine evidence. A trial can't be won before it ever gets underway. I know he says a trial can be won before it ever gets underway. And he goes on to say that Dermot Dan KC is one of the best and brightest minds in law in Victoria, if not Australia. And he goes on to say sometimes during pretrial hearings, the evidence police have based their entire case on gets tossed away altogether. And then he says, in the recent case of once allegedly murdered teenager Isla Bell, police claim to have a rock solid case against her accused. That evidence was effectively tossed behind closed doors and the murder charges disappeared. Now, one more thing here. Mushroom killer Erin Patterson enjoyed the mother of all pretrial victories. Some of the evidence she had dumped behind the jury's back still cannot be reported on to this very day. Wayne is not lying. I hope to one day be able to share with you what that evidence is. I cannot even tell you what it is. Like I can't tell you if it's a photo, a video, maybe it is a mushroom, maybe it is a piece of paper, maybe it is a dog, a cat, maybe it's blood, maybe it's a recipe, it could be 20 different things. I can't even narrow it down for you. I'm not allowed to. And when would I be able to tell you this evidence? It could be years from now. It could be many years from now. Right now, there is we're just not allowed to talk about it. But there is some evidence that has not been made public as of yet and cannot be reported on for a variety of reasons. And so I wanted to share that with you because we are currently undergoing the pretrial hearings for Samantha Murphy. That trial gets underway in about 3 weeks' time, and I'll be there. I've already had everything organized, and we have everything done, and yeah, I will be there. I was at a hearing on Monday for it, and had something earlier today, but it was very, very quick. But yes, we are basically done. We are heading to trial at the end of this month. And when you hear this type of thing, so you hear it, right? There is almost a secret trial that takes place before the actual trial in front of a jury ever gets underway. And that is what I have been attending for Samantha Murphy over the last, half a year, 9 months, 12 months, whatever it is, many, many sessions in the court. And that's why, because there are a lot of things that get said that there are no sort of recordings or this or that. They are secret hearings and they don't hand video out, audio out, notes out, transcripts out, anything like that. You have to have been there to be able to know the information. So that's where I've been for the last, almost a year, and trying to get on top of all of this so that when we go to trial, I will be able to tell you exactly what is going on and why, because I would have already heard it before. So yeah, there we go. What a good article from Wayne Flower. He saw him at the mushroom trial. I expect that he will be at Ballarat for the Samantha Murphy trial as well. So it's her white trousers. That's exactly what it is. You guys guessed. Oh my god! Now I'm going to be part of a court proceeding, and they're never going to trust me again. It was definitely the white trousers. That's what it was. Yep. You guys are right. White trousers. Jeez. It is certainly a choice. Certainly a choice. Ping just making up. Yes, that's right. Um, Gaylor said, I'm glad it got lifted. He basically an agent for sports people and music people. Yes, that's what he is. Um, I'm not making up anything. Let's see. Woman still said, I wish you could. Yeah, unfortunately, we cannot. Uh, hey, Marilyn Landers. Obviously not so white after her trip. Well, if you believe the prosecution, it never happened. So her white pants were perfectly white when she got back because it never happened. Hey Taz, how are you? Sean said, I've never been to the big mining museum and park in Bendigo. I don't think we're gonna end up in Bendigo, unfortunately. Otherwise I would take you to, what is it called? Sovereign Hill. I would take you guys to Sovereign Hill. We might have to do that another time. Um, I'm planning to be at the trial, and then I want to get home as quickly as possible. I don't really want to hang around. Not that I don't like Ballarat. I just want to be home. So I don't want to be, hanging around unnecessarily, like over the weekends or whatever. I would like to get home. So, yep, we'll be there in about 3 weeks' time. All right. So that is your update about what the suppression order is. That article by Wayne Flower sort of gives you a background of sort of what's been going on, and you should apply that to the Samantha Murphy thing. You should apply that to that. Okay. What else do I have for you? Do we have anything else? Oh, yes, I do. Yes. There's a woman. There is a woman, guys. You ever seen that before? There's a woman. I want to take you to KTIV News, and I'm guessing this is in Kansas. In Kansas, I would think. All right.
Tonight, we begin with the latest on a developing story out of Plymouth County. We learned shortly before 6 o'clock that the Plymouth County Sheriff's Office had charged a woman with murder for a deadly shooting at a rural Sioux City property Wednesday afternoon. That shooting reported to Plymouth County authorities shortly after 3 o'clock Wednesday afternoon at this property just north of the county line in the 31,000 block of County Road K18, belonging to the victim, identified as 49-year-old Justin Emick. Now 35-year-old Ashley Ruland is charged with first-degree murder, accused of shooting Emick to death. KTIV's Toby Wyckoff joins us now in studio with details we're learning tonight about this case. So, Toby, what do we know?
Yeah, Kaylee, we just got our hands on the court documents for this case, and there's some interesting things in here. The first piece of new information is that Ruland was living with Emick at the time, despite having an order of protection against him issued back in September. According to the arrest affidavit, Ruland shot Emick twice while they were shooting together on a remote part of the acreage, once in the back and once in the head. When she called 911 to report the shooting, She claims she shot him in self-defense. The investigative officer notes that there was no evidence indicating that Ruland was in danger from Emick when she fired, and that Emick was shot from behind. The arresting officer's affidavit also said that Ruland made statements to the law enforcement about her self-defense claim, including saying things like, "It's gotta be now or it's going to be me." And it was either him or me, and I didn't want him to suffer. The report also notes that prior to the shooting, Ruland had expressed interest in getting a gun for protection and told family members that Emick would teach her how to use it. At this hour, Ruland is being held without bond in the Plymouth County Jail. No date has been set yet for her initial appearance.
So it's not often that we hear about this type of case where someone is claiming self-defense and the authorities just basically go, nah, nah, not going to happen. So Ashley has been charged with first-degree murder in the death of 49-year-old Justin Emick, and she told police it was either him or me. And she shot him in the remote Iowa woods. They're saying an Iowa woman allegedly told law enforcement that it was him or me after she fatally shot him on a remote property in the woods. They're saying deputies were called to the 31,000 block of K18S after receiving a 911 call just after 3 p.m. on July 29. When deputies first arrived at the scene, he was directed by the caller on where the victim was located, which was in a remote area of the acreage. Life-saving measures were started on Emick, but he was pronounced dead at the scene by Plymouth County medical examiner. Police later learned that Ashley had made the 911 call and was reportedly temporarily living with him on the property. According to the criminal complaint, Ashley claimed that she shot him in self defense, but during the investigation, they found no evidence that would indicate that Ashley was in danger from Emick. And they saying here, um, she told them it's got to be now or it's going to be me. It was either him or me, and I didn't want him to suffer. The bullet wound to Emick shows that he was shot from behind while she remained uninjured. Ashley allegedly told family members that she wanted to get a gun for protection and that Emick was planned to show her how to use it. They're saying this further reported that she had filed a protection order in which she was the protected party against Emick. She's been booked into the Plymouth jail and is being held on no bond. Um, Sounds like an unlikely story. The fact that apparently you have no injuries whatsoever, and this guy was shot in the back of the head. Reminds me of that case with that woman that found the boy in the bedroom a couple of weeks ago, and then she shot him in the back of the head and tried to claim self-defense as well, and they declined to give her that. They charged her with murder as well. So this woman should have kept up with the news because it happened like a week ago to another lady. You know, here, let me see if I can find the update with that. No, let me see if I can find it now. Yeah, I found it. So it is in Memphis, Tennessee, on Travis Road in Memphis. It was 36-year-old mother Kendra Scott, her 13-year-old daughter, and 20-year-old Rodarius Morton. I'm just trying to see, was there any update to that? So according to this, she ended up posting her $100,000 bond and has been out of jail. Her defense attorney bypassed the preliminary hearings, moving the case directly for consideration to a grand jury. So they're moving that one to a grand jury decision on that one. Just trying to see if there's an update to that. Charge of murder. No, that one. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. Let's go. I wanted to see if there was an update here. I want to go see what happened in court with her. I didn't see it. Who was that? Hey, Sean, thank you. I appreciate it. Hopefully it's not as loud anymore. Yeah, she should have been watching Nights with Ping, that's right. She would have learned and then not tried that. She would have done something else like mushrooms. Wait, no, that didn't work either. But maybe she would have been more clever than Erin Patterson. No, there's no real update for it, unfortunately. That's a shame. Thank you for the jewels. I appreciate it. It does it for everything. The super chats, like if you subscribe to the channel, the jewel things, a super sticker, it does it for all of them. So, um, Kim said none of these unalivers watch true crime. They don't seem to. No. I have something that I wanted to show you. There was a there was an episode of Dateline a couple of weeks ago, and they detailed another case where a woman tried to kill a man with mushrooms. Did you guys watch this? Because I downloaded it thinking it was going to be an episode on Erin Patterson, and it wasn't. It was about this other woman who killed a guy with mushrooms. She thought they were death cap mushrooms, and they weren't. They were a different type of mushroom, even though it did kill him, but they weren't death caps. They look very similar, but they're not. Very interesting episode of Dateline. Amy said one of my old high school acquaintances was murdered by a dumb criminal. It sucks, but at least he was stupid enough to get caught quickly. That's what we like on this channel when they get caught quickly. Um, yeah, did you guys watch the Dateline episode about it? Here, yeah, about a week ago, it was the 2020 death of a man called David Fouts in Indiana, and this woman used mushrooms to kill him. And I thought, like I said, I thought it was about Aaron Patterson. I was like, "Oh, the Americans are doing Aaron Patterson. Oh, I'll check that out." But she killed her husband with mushrooms. Hey, Danny. Thank you. I don't know what they do, but does it go up the top? I hope it does. I don't know why. I think sometimes the gems don't add to the total, but I think only like super stickers and that do. But I appreciate it. It will help with the trial costs. I appreciate it. Her ex didn't want to. Yeah, right. She tried to say that he was like this drunk, malignant, and then tried to say that she'd never. Must have been an accident. She took the Aaron Patterson way of trying to say it was like an accident. Let's see. You shouldn't laugh. Okay. So let me try and track this down. I want to see if there's like a local news, not a unfortunately there just isn't. I would have thought there would have been. So David Fouts was 50 years old and he worked for Salesforce Technology. And he was murdered in April of 2020 through a conspiracy involving his wife Katrina and a retired police officer called Terry Hopkins in Hamilton County, Indiana. His body was found by a pedestrian on April 24, 2020 in a rural roadside ditch. Yeah, he was like exercising and then freaking died. Hey, Miss Woozy, how are you, my friend? Um, it's really sad. Like this guy basically succumbed to, and like I said, she thought they were death caps and they weren't. And I think that's brutal. So they found his body in a rural roadside ditch along Overdorf Road in Noblesville, Indiana. David was found shoeless, shirtless, and wearing a rifle sling around his neck like a dog collar. It's imagine that, like a dog collar. That's how your final moments are. Let's see. And they're saying here an autopsy revealed the presence of a poisonous mushroom, uh, Leophilium cornatum. I don't know what that is, but they said in the documentary that they look so similar to death cap mushrooms that a lot of people get them confused, but they are still poisonous. The only difference is there's been no research into these mushrooms because people don't eat them. There's a photo of them, by the way. So people don't eat these mushrooms, and yeah, so there's no research on like toxicity and stuff like that. I'm just trying to see. Yeah, while historically consumed in some regions in the USA, chemical testing has revealed that the white dome cat contains highly reactive chemical compounds like conatin and lyophilin. These compounds act as a potential mutagen. Consuming this mushroom can accuse acute gastrointestinal distress and pose long-term health risks due to its ability to alter genetic material. But they are not poisonous in the way that death cap mushrooms are, unfortunately. Hey, Danny, thank you. Did that pop up on the screen? I hope it did. Sweeniver said one YouTuber said there's no fee for gifts like there is with Super Chat. Is that true? Um, I hope that's true. Danny said, "Yeah, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. You are very kind." Miss Woozy got it. Received the membership. Hey, Miss Woozy, how are you? I haven't seen you in ages. How you been doing? Hope you're having a good night. And more jewels from Sean. I appreciate it. You guys are very kind. I appreciate all the people who have supported this channel, the people who have done their memberships or stuff like that. Everyone's so kind, and I appreciate people doing that for me. I don't know. I don't know if I'm worth it or not, but I do appreciate it, and I try and work hard to bring you guys as best of information that I can, especially with these court hearings. That's what I want to tell you. There is no one else in Victoria or really, there are some others in a couple of other states, but not really in Victoria. There's no one that does this. Everyone else works for like TV channels, the news, the newspapers. They work for the Daily Mail or the Guardian or whatever. There is no real daily independent voice coming out of the courtrooms in Victoria. No one. There's no one else. I've asked them, and they've said that I'm basically the only one. And that support helps doing that. Um, yes, that's how it appears for me too, Sean. Yeah, so there is no one else that does it. And that was my hope, is that we could build it up and actually get into these trials and actually do it to give you guys the best information where you don't need to pay $50 a month to subscribe to some Australian paper. You don't have to buy, Daily Mail Plus or whatever. That you can come to the channel, you can find out the information, and you don't have to pay for it if you don't want to. If you don't want to do a super chat, you don't have to. You can just watch the content. That's the whole point of it. So, I I hope I do that for you. Kim said that's because Ping made the jewels fun. Yeah, there you go. Fun jewels. Sounds like a poker machine. Let's see. The gems are addictive. I don't know how they work. I haven't been on a channel that has them enabled yet. Like a couple of the channels that I go to for different topics or whatever, they don't have them enabled, so I haven't been able to look at it from a consumer or viewer side of it as of yet. Let's see. We're sending Ping to Ballarat. Yeah. That'll be a fun time. Well, for you guys, I'll be sitting in a hotel room at some point and sitting in a courtroom. We're still waiting to hear about some of the details about that. The court hasn't really told us how it's going to work as of yet. I would expect there would be some sort of like final directions hearing a couple of weeks before trial where they will go through all of those type of details, and we'll have a lot clearer idea of how this is going to work, because Ballarat is has the same issue that Morwell has. It's a very small courtroom, and I don't think there's going to be a lot of room for media. So we'll have to wait and see what they're going to do. I saw that there was some retroactive ban on Australians using the casino in GTA, which makes no sense. The game has been out for like a decade. Why would you ban it now, 10 years later? It's bizarre. Australian government does really weird things with like video games. They have it out for adult gamers. Makes no sense to me. Like I don't get why you would do that. Here. So yeah, let me check here. So yeah, if you haven't watched this episode from Dateline yet, go and watch it. It is really really good, and it'll sort of give you like the story of Erin Patterson succeeded in a way because she killed her victims. This lady did too, but not in the right way, if that makes sense. Like she picked the wrong mushrooms, did it the wrong way. Somehow, unfortunately, the guy still died, but she sort of didn't do it right. Um, yeah, you should watch it. It's um, a very interesting case about this poor man called David Fouts, her husband, and it has a lot of themes that are very similar to Aaron Patterson. Yeah, I'm just trying to see if we can find out more about David. Yeah, they said that the autopsy was inconclusive, but it did reveal in that autopsy that David had consumed toxic mushrooms, just not the lethal kind. He died from eating poisonous mushrooms, just not death cap mushrooms. Here's a photo of him, by the way. Got set up by his wife and killed so that she could take his money and go and be with like her new lover. It was pretty horrible. Yeah, Katrina alleged that David had been having an affair and they were living separately at the time of his death. A few months prior to his death, Katrina also accused David of domestic battery and invasion of privacy. He ended up being arrested for that. David said it never happened and that he never touched her. An autopsy was subsequently conducted and found that David's stomach contents included mushrooms, which the forensic examiner identified as those um, like Leophilium uh, cornatum. I've never heard of these mushrooms, but maybe you have. And they're saying mushrooms that are known to produce toxins such as muscarine. And they're saying that it basically shut down his body and he died. One of the things they said that can make the toxin go faster is exercise. And he was cycling at the time. And they're saying the cycling on the bike probably sped up the effect of the toxins. And that's probably why he died mid cycling, unfortunately. They're saying in her pictures, we found a screenshot of death cap mushrooms on her phone, deadly ones, like the death cap, you eat it and you are dead. We strongly believe that these mushrooms played a huge part in likely killing David. So yeah, they believe that they found photos on her phone, and she was talking about these deadly mushrooms, and she picked up the wrong ones. She picked up these other type that were not death cap mushrooms. Very silly. Morale mushrooms. Did a few years ago actually. It was a Chinese restaurant, but it wasn't to the public. The people at that restaurant were sort of having like a private gathering for people that work there. And one of the chefs had brought back mushrooms that they picked in the wild, thinking that they were straw mushrooms, and they weren't. They were death cap mushrooms. They made a soup out of it, ate it, and a bunch of them died from eating that soup. It was very awful. Happened in Canberra about 15 years ago now. Very, very sad. Very sad. So yeah, go watch that Dateline episode. It's called The Mushroom Mystery, and it came out about a week ago on Dateline, which was yeah, The Mushroom Mystery. That's why I downloaded it. I was like, oh, it's Aaron. But then I started watching it, and it was like, wait, that woman is not Aaron Patterson, and that guy is not anything to do with he's not from Victoria in Australia. Here you go. See, The Mushroom Mystery, Dateline. The full episode available now on Dateline.com. Tune in to Dateline After Show and watch the Aftermath podcast on on the topic. All right. Kelly said that's interesting. They tell you if you get bit by a snake, don't rub it and spread the toxin. Must be like very similar with the mushrooms too. I didn't know that. Even though apparently I'm a mushroom expert now. I don't think I am, but a lot of people think I am for some reason. Um, okay, I think I have one more story about a man named Alan Roy Murley, and I think you would like to hear about Mr. Alan Roy. If I can get you a photo of him. Okay, I can't. There's no video for this because it only just happened, but I can show you this. Oh wait, I'll do it like this. Like this. This man here. And this guy is a piece of crap. His name is his name is Alan Roy Murley. He's 74 years old. He had been using online to groom women in Southeast Asia, paying them as little as $25 to obtain CSAM material, whether that is from their own child or other child, that didn't matter to him. He was paying these women online through online payment platforms to abuse children. They're saying here, according to the prosecutor that told the court, Murley had messaged one woman to tell her he liked her daughter. She looked so naughty. You need to teach her young, he said, and that she was only 3 years old at the time. The court heard Murley also funded the living and educational expenses of a teenager to whom he sent about $25 to in exchange for material. In a conversation from March 2024, Murley asked the girl, "Are you home from school, baby?" To which she replied, "I'm in school, dad." He said, "Will daddy get a treat?" With the girl replying, "Yeah, we'll send tomorrow morning before I go to school." Now, after he came back from one of his trips overseas to do it in person, the AFP was waiting for him, hoping that he was a dumb criminal. Luckily for all of us, he was a dumb criminal and he had his mobile phone on him. And what do you think was on that mobile phone, ladies and gentlemen? They're saying here, I want to see. So in May of 2025 last year, he was stopped by Australian Border Force officers at Perth Airport for a baggage examination. ABF officers identified videos depicting children being essayed on the man's mobile phone and alerted the AFP. AFP forensic examination of the phone revealed conversations in an instant messaging application between the man and a female in the Philippines during which the woman transmitted CSAM material. He's now been sentenced after sentenced in the court. He's being sentenced to 10 and a half years behind bars. Judge Lindsay Fox said Murley had corrupted the women to engage in such disgusting behavior. Having a sexual relationship with impoverished women overseas in exchange for cash is one thing, but compelling them to engage in depraved sexual acts with their own children for your own gratification in exchange for, by Western standards, relatively small amounts of money, speaks to their vulnerability. You have corrupted these children in ways I suspect you simply do not fully yet understand, and the ways that many of these children will probably never recover from. And you can see they actually had some evidence photos of them searching his phone, finding these young women in Asia, and he has been hammered by the court. Now, don't think the women overseas got out of it as well. They end up arresting multiple women in the Philippines for undertaking, uh, basically committing these crimes against their own children or other children. Judge Fox added, these children will probably have a difficult life from the outset given the relative poverty in which they were born into. But you may well have destroyed any prospect of a normal life which they might have had. He will be eligible for parole after serving 6 years and 9 months. Meanwhile, the 32-year-old woman from the Philippines remains behind bars for her participation in the sick scheme. She was arrested by what they call the Philippine Internet Crimes Against Children Center in 2026 after the AFP made them aware of her being complicit in the offending. 6 children, which were possibly her own children, were removed from harm and put into other homes where they can no longer be victimized. So yeah, this guy is a absolute scumbag. The fact that he would pay them to do that to their own children and that they would comply, possibly again due to just the type of poverty that they live in. You know, this $25 here and there, that's a lot of money for them in the Philippines. This guy took advantage of them and he deserves to go to jail. Um, Jules, yeah. If you enter any airport around the world, they can take your phone and scan it for crimes, for photos, for things you might have done if you're, going to Southeast Asia to attack these young people. Yeah, they can search your phone and look for evidence of it. Yep, it is a known thing. So this guy heading to jail for almost 7 years, but I don't think that makes it any better. I don't think that it's not even that long. Look, he's 74 years old. If he ever makes it out of jail would be, one thing. Well, we would have to have a look at that, but he may never make it out of jail. Let's just want to see if there's a video of him getting sentenced in court. No, I don't have a video of him being sentenced, unfortunately. Why is it telling me that? Yeah, I'm just trying to see if there is a video of it or not. Um, no, I don't have anything, but I can just tell you that he was charged after they found it on his phone after he came back from overseas. I'm just having a look at Hightail because they often have a lot of. Is that the only photo they're giving us? Okay. Oh, that's Sydney Airport. No. We want. Just trying to see if there is one from yeah, here we go. Yeah, arrest image and vision. So do we have a video? Ah, you can see. Oh, it didn't work? Give me a second, guys. Why didn't that work? No, that's okay. There's one of the women, the 32-year-old that was doing it to her own children, being arrested in the Philippines. This comes from the Australian Federal Police database for this type of thing. What is this? Oh, we have a video. So this is them arresting her in the Philippines, raiding her property, looking like you can see the type of poverty they live in. Like that's their home. Looking for ID, I guess, or phones. Terrible. It doesn't tell me what he did for work, unfortunately. But, yeah, there you go. Oh, well, they're looking for the tablets and the mobile phones, probably for evidence related to him too. So there you go. Her being led away into the car. Yeah, let me take you out. Here. Just trying to see if we got a second video at all. Ah, we do have a second video here of him. Hey, play the video. Let's see. So that's him being approached at the airport, and then they pull out the phone, and they're like, "Hey, buddy, we're just gonna take the phone. Do you mind if we have a look at it?" Hmm. Won't let me play the thing, unfortunately. Okay. When I have it, I'll play it, but for some reason it won't let me play it from Hightail for some reason. Have you seen the new Jimothy video? No, I haven't. I saw the one where he's oh, here we go. I saw the one where he was jumping over a fence. So there you go. This guy must be shitting bricks. When they're like, "Hey buddy, can you grab your bag for us and do you have a mobile in there? You got a tablet or anything?" He must have been shitting bricks. He must have known yeah, see right there. See the officer? Watch the body language. See the officer saying, "Do you have any more electronic devices or phones?" Right? And he that guy's like he sort of took a step back. He is shitting bricks. See, now he's like, "What do you mean? What do you mean you need the phone? What do you mean, mate? I don't have to give you the phone. I'll give you me glasses if you want. Look, here, take me glasses. They're not high tech." Um, yeah, he looked like he was freaking out. Oh, did you see the cat? Yeah. Let's see. Your cousin has a pet coyote? I hope it doesn't eat them in the sleep. So yeah, there you go. I thought he looked like he was absolutely panicked when that guy starts going, "Do you got any more electronic devices?" You know that's the question they were asking him in that in that moment. This guy, an absolute creep, deserves to go to jail. You know, 7 years not really enough for what he did. The men that go over to Southeast Asia is they're some of the worst of the worst because they use their position of being a white Australian, having decent money, a high exchange rate, coming from one of the top countries in the world, and they use it as leverage in these places in Southeast Asia. and to get what they want, to hurt these children. And they know these women will do it because if you give them $50 American, $100 American, that's like a month's worth of wages or money over there, if not more. Some of these people live on as little as like $5 American every week. $5 American per week. And to be offering them like $25, $50, that's huge money to them. That gets them out of poverty for a month. That gets them out of poverty for a couple of weeks. And you're like, "Hey, you just want me to like film my daughter doing this?" Oh, yeah, no worries. It's it's horrific. The mom deserves to get some charges against her. And while she's part of the problem, it's men like that. They're the real problem because they use that leverage. And it must be hard to be like, I either do this or I don't eat. I either do this or I don't have a roof over my head. And I get it's some of the worst that you can ever think of. But these people over there, they have no way out a lot of the time. And while she deserves jail, she does. She should have told him no and you know, stuck to her morals and like protecting her daughter. But the big bad here is him. He's using his like privilege of being from a good country with good money, and obviously has a lot of money, and he's the one that's using it to kind of like make these women choose between cash and a lot of other things. So I reckon he should have a lot more time in jail. Should be like 15 years in jail for what he did. Horrible guy. By Mount St. Helens, we took the Cody. I don't. Yes. I hope you don't really have a coyote. Hey, by the way, there's a new so it's Shark Week in America. If you ever want to if you ever want to like know why the shark attacks and things happen, like over the last like 6 months, there's been a bunch of shark attacks in Australia where um, scuba divers and spearfishers have been killed. And one of the recurring facts is that these people that witness the event keep saying that these great white sharks are not gray in color, they're not white in color, they're black. Like these really dark colored sharks, and they're like they've never seen that before. And it kept popping up in all these reports when people are killed. Wasn't a great white shark, it wasn't a great gray shark. These were all like pitch black colors on top of them. And it's not something that's been seen a lot in Australia, and they were trying to figure out why are these new sharks around and where did they come from and why are they attacking more humans than normal? Well, I won't spoil it for you. Go and watch it on Discovery Channel and check out that documentary. I think it's called. Hold on. Yeah, just trying to find out what episode it is. Yes, but which episode is it? It's called The Greatest Great White Sharks. Go watch that. I think you might even be able to watch it on Discovery Channel. Here, I'm just going to test this and see if you can. Ah, you can. It is on Discovery Channel. Here, I'm going to send you the link for it, and you guys can go watch it. And go watch and find and watch why these sharks are able to like why they're attacking people and why are they different to the sharks that normally live in Australia. It's a really interesting very interesting documentary. Here, got a tan. That's not the case, but when you hear why, you'll be like, "What?" I wouldn't have thought that's why. You'll see. So the link's in the chat. You can go and watch it. It is a really good documentary. Let me check my. Hey, Sean, I appreciate the donation. I appreciate it. And I want to say thank you to my other friend. My other friend who sent that donation, you didn't have to. I do really appreciate it, and I appreciate what you've done for me on this channel. But um, if you want it back, let me know. I would happily give it back to you. I, yeah, if you need it, just message me. I will refund it to you. Okay, because I feel bad that there's these people that donate quite frequently. Gail said if it's not food, guys, hold on. All right, sorry about that. Got like a bit of like heartburn, and I was like, when you get that heartburn, it really like it's like this. It feels like it's going like that, indigestion or whatever. And I was like, I need a drink. So I was like, it feels better now. Um, Go watch that documentary. It's really good. I think you guys should watch it. Is this the right one? Yeah, this is the right one. Go and watch it. It's very, very good, and explain some interesting points about, are there differences between white sharks that live locally, or do sharks travel all around the world? Are there ones that live in one place? Do they travel from Western Australia to New South Wales? Are they friends? Do they, all these different things about like shark habitat. Then there's a second one, and this opened my eyes. I never knew that Nova Scotia had great white sharks. I had no idea that Nova Scotia had them. And there's a documentary, you'll probably be able to Google it. And there's these giant great whites that live up in Nova Scotia. And they've been it's called Great White Highway. You can watch that one too. And I didn't even think they lived that far north. I thought, oh, they probably live up in New York and all that, but I didn't think they lived that far north in the Pacific Ocean. Not Pacific, the Atlantic Ocean. Had no idea. Thank you, sweet universe. I appreciate it. I hope the bling noise is not as loud anymore, because yesterday it was really loud and it was upsetting people. So hopefully it's nice and quiet now. Sweet Universe said, I set aside part of my donation, part of my income every month for donations, so I'm always good. Thank you. I appreciate it. This other one came from someone else, but I do appreciate it. It's very kind. You've been very generous. This one came from someone else, and I don't see them here tonight. Just looking through the chat. I don't see them here unless they were here earlier. Yeah, I feel bad. Gayla said, I'm sure some sharks were spotted in the UK. There's a rumor that there are great white sharks in Scotland, but I'm not sure if that's true or not. Missy said, have you ever been on the blues train in Melbourne? I don't know what that is. What is a blues train in Melbourne? I'm trying to see. The blues train. It is like a live venue music thing. Okay. I have not. There you go. There's a photo. The blues train. I guess they play blues music. I have never. I didn't even know this was a thing. Where is it? It is Queenscliff, Victoria. So if you're in Queenscliff, Victoria, you'll be able to see it. Hey, spicy Pisces, New Yorker. Hey, good to see you. Thank you for the gems. Hey, I don't think I've seen you in the chat before. Good to see you. I like your name, Spicy Pisces, New York. Are you from the New York area? You have to let us know. Are you from the island or are you on the mainland? That would be good to know. Let them cook. Let them cook. That's right. Let the sharks cook. We could do that. We could do that. So yeah, check out those documentaries. They're really good if you've got some spare time. Let them cook. Thank you. I appreciate it. Sharks are branching out to become aliens, and then they're going to get feet and they're going to walk on the land, and then we're all screwed. From New York City, from the actual city, cool. Um, you guys must be having a pretty hot summer. I saw back when Taylor Swift had the wedding that it was like 100 degrees in the city. I hope you're having a little bit cooler of a time now because I heard it was real hot a few weeks ago. Yeah. It's 22 degrees right now, but it is 70% humidity. So pretty like sticky in New York City right now. But you having look like you're gonna have some storms on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. You have a forecasted thunderstorms in the area. Your top is of 71 degrees. It's 71 right now, but over the next few days, you have a high of 88 degrees and a low of 78. So you're not getting much of a swing on that temperature overnight, only 10 degrees Fahrenheit. So you got it's pretty hot. Even though you're not up in like those Arizona temperatures, you're sort of like not going that far between daytime and nighttime, which makes it a little bit uncomfortable to be there. You heard it was Swift? Yeah, that's what it is. But yeah, I hope you have a good next few days. Be careful. You apparently do have thunderstorms coming in over Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So hopefully no tornadoes. Hopefully no tornadoes. Humidity is 90% here. I hope you have like a aircon or something. God, 90% humidity. You'd be like sweating your own sweat and then it would be evaporating into the air and then falling to the ground. Like you would have like your own weather system inside your home. Like your sweat would be causing the clouds to appear in your home and then it would rain and then it would go back up again. You would have you would have your own mini weather system. Brutal humidity. Yeah, it seems like you guys in the US are all suffering from quite high humidity right now. I heard people in Washington suffering from really bad fires at the moment. So if you're in Washington right now, like Seattle, Washington, not Washington, DC, apparently there's like historic fires going on the Pacific coast. I hope everyone's okay over there in Washington at the moment. Jill said 93% humidity in North Carolina. Jeez, you guys, I hope it goes away. It's far too hot. Far too hot. All right, let me see. I don't think I have do I have one more story? Might have one more. There was a story that I was going to do the other day and then I didn't end up doing it. Yes. Here, this one. This is in North Carolina, funny enough. There was a woman called Robin Doyle. She was reported missing on July 28th, not that long ago, just a few days ago. And she was found dead in the woods. Well, they've now arrested a guy over it. I'm going to take you out to WSOTV 9 in the area, and then I'll give you the update.
Eyewitness News Live at 5 starts with breaking news, a major break in a missing persons investigation. Deputies say they found Robin Doyle's body in the woods this afternoon. Her death is being investigated as a homicide. Thank you for being with us. I'm Hannah Getz.
And I'm Scott Wickersham. We tracked investigators from the Catawba River today to a neighborhood as they were looking for evidence in Robin Doyle's possible kidnapping. Well, tonight deputies say that her former co-worker, who is a convicted kidnapper, is their lead suspect. Channel 9's Dave Faraday has been covering the case extensively since Doyle's father first reported her missing, and he's live near where her body was found. Dave?
Scott, for much of the afternoon, this roadway north of Claremont has been blocked off. There were more than a dozen investigators out here. As you mentioned, deputies are now confirming that Robin Doyle was found dead here. We learned from deputies that this roadway here doesn't have any homes on it. We also found out that her body was located about 25 feet off the roadway into the woods. From Chopper 9 Sky Zoom, you can see police along New Spirit Road north of Claremont. The sheriff says it was leads overnight in the disappearance of Robin Doyle that led them to the neighborhood where they found her not far from the roadway. Sheriff Brown says he has known Robin Doyle's family for years and is praying for them tonight.
It's tragic. Something like this is just pure evil, and people like these are going to be held accountable.
According to court documents, deputies found zip ties and other personal items in Doyle's yard Tuesday morning after she was reported missing. Her father showed us where the back door was also open when he went to check on her after she didn't show up for work. Neighbors describe seeing a car near the home early Tuesday morning, and deputies say a flock camera nearby helped them identify the vehicle, leading them to search a home in Surrey County on Wednesday. It was there they arrested Leroy Loper, a former co-worker of Doyle's, on unrelated charges. Court documents say they found similar zip ties and muddy clothing and tape inside Doyle's home in Surrey County. Tonight, investigators say he is now a suspect in her disappearance north of Claremont. This neighbor was surprised by the large police presence here.
It's kind of really weird, that this could possibly be her. I just really feel for their families and, her coworkers and friends.
We also found from court documents that Leroy Loper actually went to the sheriff's office Tuesday morning around 9 a.m. He is on the sex offenders registry here in North Carolina. He went there to tell sheriff deputies that he was moving to Surrey County. That same morning is when Robin Doyle was reported missing here in Catawba County.
So this guy abducts this woman, kills her, puts her in the forest. I mean, what? Why? It's bizarre. So she's considered a beloved gas station clerk who worked in the local area. The guy they've arrested, his name is Leroy Allen Loper, and he's considered a SO. Like, you guys can know what that word is. Here's a photo of both of them. He looks exactly like what you think it was. He looks exactly like you think he is. Hey, Sean says, why has the donation total not changed? We're waiting on approval for the PayPal link to work. So if you guys send it through the PayPal, it'll go up here. Everything else has been set up, but PayPal needs a second verification, and we're still waiting on it. It should allow us to also take credit cards, which I don't know if people want that or they don't want that. If you do, I guess it'll be a feature. If you don't, then you don't need it. But that's why it's taking a little bit longer, because of the approval for the PayPal thing. Yeah. All right. So yeah, this guy, why? I don't get it. He just a crazy person? They're saying Robin was reported missing Tuesday last week from her Hickory, North Carolina home. Her remains were found in northeastern Catawba County. The sheriff office said in the update on Friday, Leroy Allen Loper had been arrested on several charges, including murder, in connection to her death. I'm just trying to find. So they knew pretty quickly. Apparently, when they identified the person of interest, they knew it was him. The fact they found zip ties in her front yard as well. Do you reckon it was her work and he used to go in and out of the gas station maybe? Maybe she banned him from being there or something, and he's taken it out on her. Says it wasn't immediately clear if Doyle and Loper knew each other. Investigators did not announce a possible motive against the crime. Loper is a registered SO with prior felony convictions for first-degree kidnapping and second-degree forcible sexual offense. The sheriff office said in a statement that he has been charged with murder, first-degree kidnapping, destroying remains, and concealing death. He is being held without bond, and they're saying that they're waiting for an attorney to be listed for him in the court. Right now, he has no attorney listed for him. Leroy Allen Loper, I gotta think it's got to be something to do with her work. That's the only thing I can think of. Yeah, apparently there is a video of him facing court today. Here, I'll take you out to it.
New developments. The man accused of kidnapping and killing this woman will stay in jail. A judge denied the suspect bond today.
It comes days after investigators found his former co-worker's body north of Claremont. Channel 9's Dave Faraday is live at the Catawba County Courthouse. And Dave, you spoke with the victim's brother today as prosecutors laid out how she was found.
Yeah, you know, sheriff deputies and the SBI, Hannah, had done extensive searches in this case. Prosecutors also said that the suspect's cell phone was what led them to the victim on Friday. He also spoke with the judge about the possibility of now seeking the death penalty against Leroy Loper. Leroy Loper is charged with murder, first-degree kidnapping, and concealment of a death in the abduction of former co-worker Robin Doyle. Gay Martin went to school with Doyle and came to court today to support her family.
It is very senseless. It's very senseless, and, just to know that a woman can't be safe anymore.
Prosecutors told the judge investigators found zip ties here at Loper's home in Surrey County, matching ones found outside Doyle's home the morning she was reported missing. Family members knew something was wrong when they found the rear door to the home open and some of Doyle's belongings scattered in the yard after she didn't show up for work. Her brother spoke with us by phone today.
My sister didn't deserve this. Okay, so my sister was sweet. She went to work every day. She worked hard. She took care of my dad.
Neighbors of Loper shared this video of his arrest in Surrey County on unrelated charges last week. He was on the North Carolina sex offender registry after convictions for first-degree kidnapping and second-degree forcible sexual offense. This woman dated Loper for 2 years and also knew Robin Doyle.
He was a nice, sweet person when I met him, and then all at once, he started doing crazy crap.
And family members of Robin Doyle are also thanking law enforcement tonight for all the hard work that they put into this case. We're also learning that a candlelight vigil is now planned at the store that Robin managed north of Hickory. That's going to take place, I'm told, Saturday night. Reporting live from Newton, I'm Dave Faraday, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Dave, thank you. And Dave has covered.
I don't know if you saw that. I had to bend down. My cat, my other cat, my big fluffy one, came under the desk, came up here and latched onto my pants and just started pulling them like that. She's such a jerk. Hey, Area Vient. Hi, thanks for subscribing. It popped up on the thing. Do you like the little picture? Thanks. It allows us to say thank you to you. Thanks for subscribing. I appreciate it. If you want to be like her, you can hit the subscribe button and have your little thing pop up on the screen. It's a lot of fun. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate it. Content Angel said Robin Doyle probably told her boss that this guy was an SO and he got him fired. Yeah, you might be right. Maybe she found out some sort of background against him. That's what I mean, I don't think they were dating, right? Like that other woman said that they had been dating for a period of time. I don't know if she was probably like dating with him. I mean, you never know. Just said that they were co-workers. Now, did she have a husband? It doesn't say, but they're sort of in that age range, right? So she's 58. How old is Mr. Loper? Did we get an age of him? Not on this one anyway. Leroy Allen Loper. I'll just check here. He's 54, so, like, yeah, they're in the sort of a wow, he is a hard 54. The fact that she's 4 years older than him, and she looks a million dollars better than he does, that's a hard 54. She looks so much better than he does, and she's 4 years older. That's a real hard 54. He may have been doing a lot of that math. A lot of that math. You know how some people like to do a lot of math, and with the glass pipe and that? Might have been doing a lot of math in his spare time. He might have been a, mathematician. Um, oh, I don't know if they've typed in the chat, they just were on the screen. I don't know if they've said anything in the chat, Gayla. Yeah, he looks like he's in his 70s. Yeah, you guys are hard living in prison? Maybe. That is a hard 54, yeah. Um, I don't know. I don't know why you like, it's creepy. You go to someone's house, abduct them, and not only abduct them, but leave cable ties used to bind their hands at the property. It's brutal. Um, yeah, I agree with you. He looks 70. So now we got to find out, why would he want to hurt this woman? Maybe she gave out his background of his previous crimes. Um, so it was her father that discovered that she was missing from her home. Her back door of her house was opened and her car was in the driveway. Investigators used flock license plate reader cameras to track Lopa's red 2015 Kia Optima that had fled the area. They're saying that he is a former co-worker of Doyle and was apprehended in Surrey County on separate sex offender registry violations. That's how they got him into custody. Warrants executed at his residence uncovered zip ties, duct tape, a knapsack, and those zip ties match the ones that were found in Doyle's yard. And they're saying here, utilizing Lopa's digital footprint and mobile phone data, authorities located Doyle's body on July 31st, 2026, hidden in a wooded area north of Claremont in Catawba County. Medical examiner treats her death as suspected homicide. He's been denied bond, remains incarcerated at the detention facility, and his next appearance is set for August 24. They're saying that local law enforcement and the FBI are still investigating and are wondering, maybe are there other victims? Like, why would he randomly go after this woman, just one day? Did he tell the police he was moving? I don't know, maybe. Sounds like a kill kit. Definitely sounds like an abduction kit. Definitely sounds like an abduction kit. He has no lower teeth? Yeah, he may not. Maybe that's why he looks a little more, but he just looks older than 54. He looks more like 72. This poor lady, man, Robin Doyle. You go, that's what gets you killed? You being like your work being in a service station or a gas station, and it's really bad. Really, really bad. Now, I'm just trying to see if we can find. Oh wow, look, her work put up a memorial for her. They put up her at her like workplace, and they put it on the front window. Always in our hearts, beautiful, knockout beautiful. That's really kind that they put up a thing outside of the workplace for her. Let's see. I definitely think it sounds like a kill kit. Hard paper round. That's really kind. I like that they did that for her. Isn't that sweet? They're saying here, Yeah, Leroy Loper. Let's have a look. Hey, hey Lucy. Hey, thanks for becoming a member. I really appreciate it. It's very kind of you. Um, we have some new things for members coming out in the net just before we have a new perk for all members. We don't have anything listed right now, but we will soon. Just hold on. We have something fun for everyone, for all levels, whether you're the lowest one or the highest one. You'll all get an opportunity with it. So hold on, but thank you for that. Sean donated it. Oh, there we go. Sean donated it. Hey, it's good. Thank you. Say thank you to Sean. Say thank you to Sean. Let's see. Gail said I heard something on the first, but yeah, I know. All right, let me check here. I wanted to find out like how they knew it was him. Oh, okay. So that flock camera caught him running from her home. Well, he's clever, isn't he? I'm gonna go kidnap a woman and drive straight past a flock camera while abducting this woman. Well, murderers don't seem to have the best sort of forethinking for like things that happen in the future. They just care about what happens in the now. They're like, all I want to do is kidnap and abduct this woman. I don't care about the cameras. Well, you can now that they got you. Yeah, I want to take it out to WBTV. They've got another one when they found her body. Might have more information that we can use.
Turned a community upside down. This man, Leroy Loper, a registered sex offender, is charged with kidnapping and killing a beloved local woman. Robin Doyle was last seen Monday evening at her home in Hickory. Well, just this afternoon, searchers located her body in the northeastern part of the county. WBTV's Forrest Tucker visited the community where people say Doyle was a well-known and kind person.
Robin, the world wasn't ready for you to leave, but heaven needed you home. That's the message coworkers and customers are sharing Friday night. That's after the investigation into her disappearance came to a tragic end when investigators found her body not far from here.
It came to my heart whenever they asked me if I would help with it, you know.
Corbin Worley says it's hard to begin processing such a major loss.
Her car's not here, her smile, her warm welcoming when you open the door to the store.
Doyle worked at Prope's convenience store along Spring Road for years. That's how Worley knew her. He says she was the type of person to give you the shirt off her own back.
She was probably one of the sweetest, most generous, kind-hearted, amazing people you'll ever meet in your life.
Investigators say the 58-year-old was last seen Monday night at her home in Hickory. They believe she was kidnapped. Catawba County deputies said they located her body in a wooded area Friday afternoon without specifying an exact location. One neighbor who didn't want to show her face says she saw law enforcement near her home on Great Divide Friday afternoon.
When I left to go pick my daughter up from daycare, I did see 2 sheriff's cars over there on the road. When we got back from daycare, I did see the chopper, flying around my house and within this area. So, I didn't have a good feeling about what was about to come out.
And says she used to feel safe in her neighborhood, but not anymore.
Now, it just makes me nervous and puts me on edge because at night, we do not have any street lights out here, and it's pitch black. So just hope people don't get any ideas to, try to come here and, reenact the same scene or situation.
About 24 hours after naming him as a person of interest, deputies charged 54-year-old Leroy Loper with Doyle's kidnapping and murder.
So many times we have things like this happen, and we're heartbroken, and I know she's loved up there just as much as she's loved down here.
As much as we all love Jesus or whatever deity that you believe in, you can't use that as a cover up and be like, well, she was loved here on earth, but I'm sure they're loving her in heaven even more. I guess if you ask this lady, she probably would have liked to have stayed with us on Earth a little bit longer and not be murdered. I mean, it's always a nice thing to say, "Oh, I'm sure they're in a better place," or whatever, but I'm sure she would love to have not been murdered as well. Um, that's sort of the be all and end all of it. It's sad. I don't know. I have to suspect. I'm gonna guess that your guys' theory, the one that you came up with, is probably right. If he worked there, I reckon she must have been instrumental in the reason why he no longer works there, and he must have gone off his whatever, and then decided to take it out on the person that he believed probably got him fired from the job and led to the downward spiral in his life. And I reckon he blames it on her. 'Cause, I can't see another reason why you would go and attack this woman who seems to not hurt anyone, not hurt a living soul. But I'm guessing there is something that happened at that workplace, and he has some sort of resentment over it, and he decided to finally act on that resentment and hurt this poor woman. I think that's horrible. Sean says Sean said, "I wish I could choose who to give it to. Hopefully, they'll join us for the trial." It's a weird thing with the gifting thing that you can't sort of like pick out of it. We should write to YouTube and say that'd be a great way to do it. If they gave you like a list of people that were active in the chat that didn't have a membership, and then like the people who want to gift it could choose the people. That'd be a great feature of YouTube. I think that'd be a great way of doing it. That'd be awesome. Content Angel said, when they say gas station and convenience store clerks, I heard at work often. This isn't the way you think. Yeah, you'd think like someone coming in and robbing it and with a gun or something like that. Um, she said no, maybe. Possibly. Hey, Sean, I appreciate it. This is interesting because I didn't know if the super chats would pop up in the chat or not. Not with the new software that we're using, but the new software is perfect. The only thing they haven't added yet, and I talked to the support team on Friday when we couldn't get the alerts working. They're working on adding the jewels. So like Sean's one here shows up as blue in my chat, sort of like how you see it. But when people do jewels, they just show up like this, like a message. According to them, they're working on it. They're working on adding the jewels so that you guys can see it. Testing the system. Testing the system. Yeah, it seems to work. Both of the alerts seem to work. Swino said, I stopped believing in God when I was little. At the same time as like Santa and the Easter Bunny, and I think if if you believe in like God or some other deity or whatever, if that is something that helps you get through life and that leads you to being a better person, if that's the way you find a way to steal yourself throughout this life, and you find it through that avenue, then all the more to you. If that's what you can do and that's what helps you do it, then that's fine. I'm sure there's people out there that do believe or they don't believe. It's a very personal decision. A lot of times it has to do with how you grew up, or what influences you have in your life and whether you find value in it. So woman is still said, yes, please hit the like button. I would appreciate it. By the way, in a couple of weeks, it's going to get really busy. I wanted just to take this moment and say, I appreciate all the people that hang out here without the sort of like big media circus. Like, I promise you, in a couple of weeks, this chat is going to go ballistic because this case that's coming up, while everyone's not talking about it right now, as soon as it hits the media, it's going to be like Aaron Patterson, and we're going to have like heaps of people that you don't know. There's going to be people in the chat. There's going to be people that don't understand the rules. There's going to be a onslaught of people that are only here for the trial. So I wanted to say the people here who are here every night, I really appreciate those people. And, you know, I know which people are here before, all the media circus gets underway. I know who's here. Missy said you used to be able to choose who you gave it to. Oh, really? I hope they bring that back. That's right. Yes, Sean's right. Yes. Let's see. All right, I think that's about it. Hey, Bengal. Content said it, and it's the same county as the Beef Wellington woman, right? No, it's not the same county. So Melbourne is divided into. I'll make it easy for you. Melbourne's divided into sort of like 5 different parts. You have Central, which is like the Melbourne. Then you have different regional centers. There's one out west. That would be like Ballarat or Bendigo. That's Western Victoria. Then you have one that's like Southwestern Victoria. It's like Geelong and some of the coastal areas on that part. Then you go Eastern Victoria. Well, that's where we went for Erin Patterson. Erin Patterson is in Gippsland to the east of Melbourne. So this time we're going west. Last time we went east. So it's in opposite directions of each other. Complete opposite opposite directions. So yeah, last time we went out east. This time we're going the opposite direction. We're going out west. So yeah. Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. Where is Spicy? Did they I'm hoping their message will pop up. Yeah, yes, thank you. Yes. Hey, Snapcrackle, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. Bengal said, I used to live in Yarra Junction when I first moved to Oz. Oh, really? I don't know if we're heading to Yarra Junction, but Sweeney said, like New York City and its boroughs. No, more like New York and New York City. So like how you have New York and it's like Long Island and Manhattan and things like that. That's like Melbourne. So imagine NYC is like Melbourne. And then how like New York has the mainland too. It has like what you guys call like upstate New York, and it's like all like the wider areas, a lot more rural, a lot more countrified areas. That is more like where we're heading, is more like upstate New York. We're not going to be in the city as such. So New York's more like Melbourne. Yeah. So it's more like heading up north or heading up into the other parts of New York. Yeah. So hopefully that gives you some explanation. Yeah, I wonder if I can show you a map. Let's see. This might be a good way of showing you. All right. They've got the Aboriginal names. Actually, Ping's no good with Aboriginal names, but yeah, this will do. All right. So we're heading out to Ballarat. You can see it on the map, right? Oh. Ballarat is right here. Ballarat. And you can see where it is. Melbourne is over here. This bit here, number 1, that's Melbourne. So we're heading out west. We're heading out about, I don't know, like 300 miles west from Melbourne. That's where we're going. So we're heading out to Ballarat. It's halfway between Melbourne and the border. So we're heading out west. Where Erin is from, Erin's from over here on the western side. So sort of here where it's orange. So if you go down here, so Erin's from here. So right here where it's orange in the middle of it, sort of to the southern bit here. Erin's from right here. So a lot more like southeast, really far southeast of Melbourne. She's from over here. So yeah, we're heading in the opposite direction and we're heading to Ballarat. And then there you got Bendigo too, but we're heading to Balla over here. So that's the sort of how Melbourne and Victoria look. So yeah, we're heading out to Ballarat. Yeah, so I live in Melbourne. I live in Melbourne here in the city. So yeah, we're going out this way. We went out in the opposite direction to Erin. Yeah. So hopefully that explains it for you. Oh, what does that mean, Sean? Ah, cool. I've never seen that before, buddy. Sean said there's a gifting tally for the stream. So yeah, there you go. Used to live in yes. So hopefully that gives you an explanation of like how Victoria works. All right. It is 5 o'clock, which means we've been on for far too long, 2.5 hours. It means I should probably go and do some normal people things. I love you all. I will see you tomorrow. Good night, everyone. And thanks to all the people who supported the channel. You're all very kind to the people who do all those gem things and that. Very kind of you guys, all the people who did the Sean with the memberships and the people who joined tonight on their own accord. Thank you. And hit the thumbs up. I would appreciate it. All right. See you later. Bye.